Justice Smith. Jabari for three and the win. Yeah! He got it!
We are here to Field Rockets News. This is Rockets Field Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, LaShawn Binkley. You can always find me over on Twitter at Binkley Hoops. And you can find all my written work over at SB Nation or the Dream Shake. And I usually don't do podcasts right after games, but since I wasn't at tonight's game, I had to do a podcast about the Rockets. Now, they've won 4 straight games. They dominated another team, this time LeBron and the Lakers, 128-94. Jalen Green led all scores with 28. You had strong games from everybody. Alperen Şengün, Jeff Green came off the bench, gave some great minutes. Jae'Sean Tate continues to play well. We saw the return of Tari Eason, who was doing Tari Eason things in limited minutes. Dillon Brooks' offense wasn't necessarily there, but he played tough-nosed defense. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. LeBron finished with 18 points, but most of that was after the game was already over. Early on, LeBron was only 3 for 8. Dillon Brooks was harassing them all over the court. He is exactly what the Rockets needed. They needed a alpha male, somebody that can come in that will take on any challenge. But again, this is not the same Rockets team from before where it's just one player against another player. The entire team stepped up tonight. The entire team helped out on LeBron James. And that was something I was saying before the game when everybody was making a big deal that LeBron was going to go for 40 and LeBron was going to do this and do that. No, it's not just LeBron versus Dillon Brooks. It was LeBron versus the entire Rockets team, and we saw that, and that's why the Rockets pretty much put this game away at halftime. They held the Los Angeles Lakers to under 29% from three-point range. Lakers shot 43% from the field, and it was actually worse than that before garbage time. They were under 40% for most of the game. This is a stat that tells you how dominant the Rockets defense has been this year and how bad it's been in previous 3 years. This is the first time the Rockets have held opponents under 100 points for 3 straight games since March of 2019. Yes, it's been over 4.5 years since the Rockets held 3 straight teams under 100 points, and they did it against the Lakers and against the Kings. And yes, we know both teams were missing players, but let's just be honest. Like I said in the last podcast, this Rockets team, it wouldn't matter who was out. If it was last year or the year before, that Rockets team would have absolutely still lost those games and given up 120 points, whether Anthony Davis was out, whether LeBron was out. It didn't matter who was out last couple of seasons. The Rockets are just a bad defensive team, but this team is totally different. We saw, I was asked Jabari about this in practice a couple of days ago, and he said that last year we were immature, including myself, and now we have a different mentality because you brought in vets like Fred and Dillon. You can just see the difference in this team now. The Rockets have run 4 straight games. And again, yes, it's early. But again, at some point, we're going to stop saying it's early and we're going to start saying, hey, this is the actual Rockets team that we've been hoping for years now. And the Rockets are right now in the 6th seed. And again, it's only been 7 games, but who cares at this point? As bad as the Rockets been for 3 years, I think we would all take looking at the standings and seeing the Rockets in the 6th seed and not at the bottom of the Western Conference, which they have been for a very long time. Again, you have contributions from Jeff Green. You had contributions from Jae'Sean Tate. Again, Jae'Sean Tate has been great. He's shooting 50% from three-point this season, something that nobody saw coming. So he's just been absolutely great this entire season. Like I told you earlier, Jalen Green led all scores, his most efficient game probably of his career. And all the people that were losing their mind about him the first couple of games saying, oh, they don't know if Jalen Green can do this and do that. I knew they were overreacting because Jalen Green was doing exactly what Coach Ime wanted him to do. He wants him to play under control. He wants him to play within the team concept and not just take over and take bad shots. Jalen Green's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And now he has veterans can take that pressure off of him. And you see he's playing a lot more loose, a lot more free. He's not playing like he's pressing and pushing because he knows that he's the best player on the team. And some nights he is the best player on the team, but he doesn't have to be that every single night. This Rockets team is not going to have a team where one guy is going to dominate every single night, a la James Harden, and then everybody else kind of just falls in place. It's going to be a different guy every night. One night is Dillon Brooks. One night is Jalen Green. Fred VanVleet, that's another guy we need to talk about. He's absolutely controlling these games. He doesn't need to be a high scorer. Like I said a long time ago during training camp, He just needs to control the game. And when they need buckets, he can get them buckets, but that's not his game. He's not going to go out there and give you 30 points a game. He's going to go out and give you a double-double, 16 points and 10 assists. Tonight, he actually finished the game with only 9 points, but he had 10 assists, and he absolutely controlled the game from the start. He put everybody in the right position. This Rockets team has different players that can step up every night. We ain't even talking about Alperen Sengun, who had another great efficient night. He was 8 for 10 from the field, and it was like he kind of forgotten because everybody was playing so well tonight. This is the best I've seen the Rockets play. Man, I can't even think of the last time. Rockets played well after the James Harden trade. I think they had that 7-8 game winning streak before Christian Wood got hurt. But even then, most people knew, like, okay, this kind of fool's gold. It's going to fall apart. But this team is built to last. And even though they got blown out in Orlando, you got to remember, they were only down 1 point in the third quarter before the wheels just completely fell off that game. And we know San Antonio, they could have won that game. Golden State, they were right there before Curry became Curry. And then we saw these last 4 games. The Rockets have, especially these last 3 games, have absolutely just dominated teams. They're just taking teams' will away from them. Something you used to see teams do to the Rockets, where the Rockets were dejected on the bench. But now you don't even see that anymore. You see the Rockets doing that to other teams, to where they're sitting their starters the entire fourth quarter because the game is completely over. So that's just something amazing. I just wanted to give them my quick recap of what I've seen so far. Like I said, the Rockets won 4 straight games. They go for number 5 again on Friday, and another team that's going to be without one of their players. CJ McCollum's not playing. Zion Williamson didn't play tonight for personal reasons. I sort of heard that it may be because he was having a child. I don't know that for sure. So there's a chance that he may be there Friday. But at this point, I don't think it really matters who's playing or who's not playing for the other team, because the Rockets are playing their style of game, exactly what Ime been preaching since training camp, what I saw out there in Louisiana. So the Rockets are rolling right now. Rockets fans, you should definitely enjoy this. You deserve this more than anybody else going through what the Rockets fans have gone through for the past 3 seasons. So it is definitely good to see the Rockets finally have an identity, and that's a tough-nosed defensive team first and foremost, and that will catapult their offense, and that's what we've seen these last 4 games, and we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it on Friday for the 5th straight win, and if we do, of course, whether we do or not, we'll have a podcast coming up this weekend, and I'll be at the game Friday. It'll be the first in-season tournament game for the Rockets, so I definitely would have all the pre and post game coverage up on the YouTube page. So make sure you check that out. And again, I appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are growing really fast. We're up to over 725 subscribers. It's been a great journey just in a few months. So we are looking forward to continue to bring you great coverage. And make sure you check out the next episode of the Rockets Fuel Podcast.